Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about something I saw that's really interesting, fascinating to me, something I think a lot of you will be interested in, and that is that Durianrider, also known as Harley, is his real name I believe. Harley has decided to use prescription testosterone under the care of a physician and to do a weight gain experiment to show you guys how easy it is to gain weight or gain muscle weight when on anabolics. Now, he's only using 250 milligrams a week, and now here's the thing, Harley, I know you talk a lot about transparency and you talk about admitting stuff, but you got to remember, Harley, 250 milligrams a week is still within the realm of YouTube Natty. I have defined the standards, and it's now a set standard that YouTube Natty is up to 1 gram per week. So you can be on YouTube and claim Natty on up to 1 gram a week. So you're still YouTube Natty, brother. You're good to go. Now, if you go to 1250, then you got to claim, unless you want to be a liar, then you got to say, well, you're no longer YouTube Natty. But all of that aside, let's discuss what's going on. A lot of people looked at what he's doing. They said, oh, there's no way he gained 4 kilos in 4 days. It's not muscle. He couldn't have even gained that. It doesn't make any sense. He would just be gaining fat. Or I've heard a number of different theories. Let's talk about what's really going on. Okay, first of all, it has to do, first of all, with relative peak testosterone levels and the fact that Harley follows a very, very high carbohydrate diet. That is very important when you go on testosterone because you are far, far more influenced by carbohydrate intake than anything else as far as weight gain when you are on testosterone and other anabolics. Now, a lot of people will go, oh, we're just eating more carbs. You store that as fat. No, you don't. That is based upon old animal models, rodent models. We know now that we studied it in humans more, that's not the case, that metabolically healthy human beings, and he is an athlete, good blood work, it's safe to assume he's metabolically healthy, don't really store carbohydrates through de novo lipogenesis as fat at an appreciable rate. We tend to burn off the excess as heat, and then you store all the fat that you ate. In the case of people who are on anabolics, and in his case, he's on them, his testosterone levels are going to be easily double the normal range because of the dose he's using. When you're on anabolics, you stop burning off the extra carb heat when you eat a surplus and your glycogen stores reach a roughly full state, and you tend to just store more of them as muscle glycogen. Every gram of muscle glycogen attracts 3 grams of water, so it's going to put 4 kilos of intramuscular weight on you. Now, people say, well, that's not true muscle weight. Well, subject to debate, because muscle weight is mostly glucose and water. You have more of that going on in there than you have tissue proteins. If you've ever made beef jerky and realized how much it shrinks down, you realize how much the case that is. So the fact that he's gaining a little bit of extra weight there, it is debatable. I mean, do you want to call it muscle tissue or not? He's probably gained very minimal amounts of actual tissue proteins, but all of that glycogen storage creates an environment to further speed up that process of gaining more tissue protein. So he is putting himself in a very anabolic environment, and if he does this for several weeks, he will gain an appreciable amount of tissue proteins. And the reason he's seeing it so fast is that he's probably using the enanthate ester, if I had to guess, based upon the box he has there. Testosterone enanthate has a peak time after injections of 1 to 2 days, and it slowly tapers down. And it gets very low at about the 10-day mark. So if he's penning once a week, he is at his peak phase eating all those carbs. So his testosterone levels are through the roof. His testosterone levels maybe at the 24-hour mark could be as high as 4 times the normal range, and then they drop back down. And by the time he injects again that 7th day, he might actually be in the normal range again, even though he's using double a therapeutic dose. So that's what you're seeing. That's why it was so easy for him to put on 4 kilos of intramuscular water and glycogen as a result of those transient storage factors from having a testosterone level that is peaked at about 4 times his normal range for a couple of days, combined with the fact that the guy eats, what, something like 80%, usually an 80% carb diet, I think? Well, all those carbohydrates, instead of burning off as heat, which is what normally happens in a metabolically active person, are being shuttled and stored into his muscle tissue, which is going to put a tremendous amount of intramuscular water and glucose weight on you. So is he lying? Absolutely not. I've seen what the guy eats. He's on a massive amount of carbs. He's metabolically healthy. And his testosterone levels just spiked at the 24-hour mark to probably 4 times what they previously were. Yeah, he's going to gain a tremendous amount of intramuscular water weight. Will that water weight go away when he comes off? Yes. Will it go away if he stays on? No. It will stay there for years. And yeah, the carb intake matters more than people seem to realize. Just like when you guys see me do meats, notice I compete at 9 kilos less Then my walk around weight a couple weeks out from a meet, and then 2 days after the meet, I'm back up 9 kilos. So if I can drop myself down and back up 9 kilos in 2 days, 2 days time, I can do 9 kilos purely through changing my carbohydrate and water intake. That's all I adjust. Then 4 kilos just from eating large amounts of carbs that he's doing in 4 days is completely reasonable. But I'm going to link his video for that down below. Check out his experiment. It's nice to see a little bit of transparency like that every now and then on YouTube. So I hope it has been informative. But let me give you guys a quad shot before I go. Since he showed his legs, I'll show you my testosterone legs. My thighs are 30 inches hardly. And there's my legs. Let me give you guys a biceps femoris shot. Oh, Mount Bicephus.